I'm Courtney. We're a family of 5 trying to grow as much of our own food as we can, and we raise chickens. Our kids wanted to name our little backyard farm, so we did. It's called Heart Pine Farms. It's December 22nd, and we have some really cold air moving into our area. Other parts of the country are experiencing a full-on blizzard with lots of snow. We don't have any precipitation in our forecast, but the temperatures are supposed to dip down into the single digits at night with wind chills of 0 or even below 0. For the next couple of days, temperatures are going to be below freezing, so we need to prepare for that in our garden because in our area we're not used to temperatures that cold, especially not this early. It would usually happen in January or February, and still we usually don't get as low as the single digits. So we're out in the garden preparing for that. One of the things we're doing here is our lettuce bed right here, which is under this hoop house. We're gonna quickly open it up and harvest as much lettuce as we think we're gonna need for the next couple of days. When things warm up again, we'll be able to vent this and open it up and harvest, but just to keep the heat inside, we're not gonna wanna open it in the next couple of days. So we're gonna come in here and harvest, and we're also going to add an extra layer of protection inside this hoop house with this frost blanket. I'm still working on a video on how we constructed this hoop house and how we're growing lettuce throughout the whole season inside it. But for right now, I'm just gonna show you what we're gonna do to try to protect it because we do wanna keep the lettuce growing through the whole season. So we're just gonna open this up. We have it latched down. I'm just gonna gently open it up and prop it open just for a little bit to do a quick harvest and cover it up with fabric and leave. The temperature is 54 degrees in here right now, so, and the soil is 50 degrees also, so things are doing really well in here. So we're growing this lettuce as cut and come again lettuce, so after we harvest it, it starts to grow back, and I'll touch on that on another video, but for right now I'll just show you how we're cutting it. This is leaf lettuce, so if you cut it 1 inch to 2 inches above the base like this, it will start to grow back. So you can see some of it that we've harvested over here is already growing back. So this cut and come again lettuce is a great thing, especially if you're growing it under a hoop house in the winter time. It doesn't come back as quickly as it does in the spring, but it does still come back. So I think I'm gonna
get some freckled lettuce. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the freckled lettuce. Everybody loves this freckled lettuce. There are some weeds in here too. Here's a nice harvest of the freckled lettuce here too. So these are kind of more like baby greens right here, but they're so good. Pick some of this romaine here. So we're gonna have a nice harvest here to last us for the next couple of days until we can open this up again. So the spinach is coming back too. I'm gonna take some of these nice big spinach leaves here. So we've got some spinach, just so that we have some a nice salad mix going through the holidays here.
Get some more purple.
Yeah, grab some more purple. Okay, that looks like a good salad mix to last us for the next couple of days here. So what I'm going to quickly do here is take this frost blanket. This is going to create another layer of protection in here because I know it's going to drop below freezing in here. And with lettuce, and we've got green onions growing here on the end. With lettuce, if it's below 0, or I mean below freezing for more than 4 hours, which it's going to be, that's when you risk the plants being damaged. So for sure tomorrow morning, the forecast is single digits, and the next morning, I think teens, until things moderate again. So temperatures have gotten down to the low 20s so far already this winter, and these lettuce plants have been fine inside the soup house. But my concern is these Arctic temperatures that we're not used to. I really want these to last. Okay, so here we go, all covered up. We're just gonna button it up for the night and hope for the best, but I really do think that this is gonna be okay here. Okay, so we also have 4 carrot beds. The far carrot bed over there is ready to harvest. This carrot bed right here is ready to harvest. These carrots are huge in here, but I have not had time to come out here and harvest with the holidays and everything going on. I'm gonna pull these all at once. We just pulled a few of them to eat fresh and to cook with and everything, but my plan is to pull all of these and can them. I just haven't had time. But these are gonna be fine because just a couple of nights with cold air is not gonna freeze the ground around these carrots, even though they're not protected. That's not gonna happen in just a couple of nights, but we do have the frost blankets available, so I'll probably just cover them just for the heck of it. I don't really want the greens to die off yet. The chickens love eating these greens, so that's always a nice treat for them. I don't really want them to totally die off. So we're gonna cover this bed. We also have 3 more carrot beds here. These carrots are not quite ready to harvest, but during our warmer days that we have, I mean, we usually average in the 50s. These carrots keep growing, so I don't really want these greens to die off quite yet either, again, because of the chickens, and they have they love these carrot tops.
Bob loves carrot tops.
Yeah, Bob loves them as a wintertime treat. So because we've got the frost blankets available, I think I'm just gonna cover these carrots just for the heck of it. The parsnips right here I'm going to cover too, because they're kind of small and they're just taking a long time to grow, which we'd like to have a wintertime harvest, but I think it'll probably be more like March. But anyways, I'm going to cover these just for the heck of it, even though they're not going to be damaged or anything. These broccoli plants, we've already harvested these beds right here. We're just going to leave these plants in here as sort of a cover crop. The rest of the beds, we have cover crops. We planted cover crops in the fall, and these are winter kill cover crops, so they probably will die off with these cold temps. I think they're usually good to about 20 degrees. Anything below that, they start to die off, but it's fine if they die off because they're going to be a mulch on top of these beds until we're ready to work it in the spring. The garlic right here, you can see that they've already been affected by some cold nights, but it's going to be just fine because the greens will just die off and then they'll continue growing when it warms up again. The concern with unusually low temperatures where we live is the power going out, because we're supposed to have wind gusts. They're predicting wind gusts to go over 50 miles per hour. I guess I'm not panicking about it because in our past experiences, I guess in our little microclimate, oftentimes when winds are predicted to be that high, they usually don't go above 30 miles per hour for us. But just in case, we have to be prepared because we live in a 1790s farmhouse and it can get really cold in there really fast. So we do have 5 fireplaces. Only 2 of them are operating fireplaces, though. They're ventless gas fireplaces. So we have propane tanks filled up and ready to go because that will help us stay warm if the power does go out. And we live in a rural area, so the power could be out for days where we live. We have a generator to help us run parts of the house, but heat is always a concern. We have freezers full of garden produce that we don't want to lose, so the generators will help run those in the case of power outages. Where we live also, the water lines are pretty shallow, so cold temperatures like this you have to worry about pipes bursting, so we'll be dripping our faucets overnight to try to prevent that from happening. Those are really our main concerns, though. We don't have any precipitation in the forecast, which is probably good, because then our power could be out for even longer with ice and snow. Some parts of the country who are dealing with this major blizzard, this down here is nothing compared to that. So I hope everyone stays really safe. In my old stopping grounds in Michigan, where I grew up, they're supposed to have quite a blizzard with a couple feet of snow, 50-mile-per-hour winds. So hopefully everyone's going to keep power up there and stay safe. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to have the chickens out much today. It would have been nice to let them run around in free range before the cold temperatures come, but on dreary days like this, there are lots of hawks out. So unless we are right on top of the chickens, it's not very safe to let them roam, because the hawks literally, they'll perch on top of the garden fence and wait for them. And this is what we've done to help keep our chickens warmer in these really cold temperatures. We have some extra fluffy bedding in here in their coop. Of course, going to keep a really close eye on the chickens' water, because it's going to freeze really quickly. So we're always going to be making sure we come out here and provide them with that. And plenty of food, because extra protein helps keep them warm. We are all buttoned up for the night and staying warm. The wind has picked up with a max gust of 11.4 miles per hour so far, but the temps haven't dropped significantly yet. If you'd like, leave a comment below with an update about the winter weather in your area. I'd love to hear about it.